Fans are watching the action at the Coca-Cola 600. We're tracking the latest race day weather. Thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Tradisha Woodard. You're taking a live look right now at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where fans are packing the track out for Charlotte's biggest weekend of racing. Meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees has the latest race day weather. Brittany.
Well, Tradisha, we are going to see, as we talked about for a few days now, some rain and storms later, but I'm still pretty optimistic about things at least starting without a hitch. You can see 71 degrees out there right now. Dew point still in the 50s. It's not as dry as it was this time yesterday when the dew point was 49, but still when we're in that mid 50s category, it's still really hard for moisture, even if it falls from the clouds, to reach the ground. So again, that's something we'll be monitoring here over the next few hours. I do anticipate that we'll see a better chance for rain and even an isolated thunderstorm closer to 11 o'clock and midnight. So if the race can get over before then, which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, we should be in the clear. So again, I'm optimistic about the start, maybe less optimistic, more cautiously optimistic about the end. But of course, we'll be tracking it all throughout the afternoon, the evening, and even overnight if necessary right here on WCNC Charlotte, and of course, always streaming on WCNC Plus. It's this little shortwave piece of energy that is going to cause that chance for some rain and even isolated thunderstorms heading into Sunday night and into Monday morning. Again, we've talked about it a lot. It is an overnight situation here. In fact, still on track. I tracked out that shortwave just a little bit ago. It's moving quickly at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. And if it stays on its current trajectory, would be bringing rain to Uptown right at about 12:05. So again, we're still on that current trajectory. I know sometimes when we see rain out there, it can look a little bit daunting. Still plenty of time to watch it. And as it does try to enter the Carolinas, it will lose some of its steam over the mountains, and of course, because of that dry air. So coming up, we're going to take a closer look exactly at Futurecast and how much rain we're expecting to see overnight and whether or not some of that overnight rain will creep into Memorial Day. That's coming up.
All right, and be sure to download the WCNC Charlotte News app so you're always weather aware when it comes to your holiday weekend plans. You can do so by simply scanning this QR code here on your screen. Well, it's Memorial Day weekend, and NASCAR fans from across the country are in town for one of the biggest races, the Coca-Cola 600. But before the green flag drops, fans are getting much more than just racing. WCNC Charlotte's Anna King joins us live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Anna, this event always bringing out the big crowds. What's it looking like out there right now?
That's right. Right now, fans are pouring in to try to get to the track as the race just started moments ago. Now, like you said, it's Memorial Day weekend. So this event is so special to so many fans out here. You can kind of get a look of what's going on out here. There's a crowd of people that's about to cross the street just to hurry and get in here. Now, before this race started, there was an event to honor fallen service members. That's going on right now with a massive military appreciation show. And I spoke to people out here who told me they show up here every year as a family. One man actually told me he's been coming to this race since 1988.
Watching the race, enjoy stuff with my sons.
It's a family tradition.
Family tradition. Family tradition.
Every year there's more and more people. I think the sport itself is getting more and more people, and it's going to get drawing some more interest. So it's good to see.
Yeah, now like he said, the crowd out here is huge, and that is not unusual. So many people I spoke to today told me they come out here for not only the race, but the food, the family, the tradition. So coming up here at 11, we'll hear more from fans. But for now, here live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Anna King, WCNC Charlotte.
Thank you so much for that report, Anna. Looking ahead this week in Charlotte City Council, they will return Tuesday with Councilwoman Tijuana Brown. She's and her two daughters pleaded guilty to federal fraud charges, or pleaded not guilty, rather. I want to make sure that's clear. They pleaded not guilty to federal fraud charges. WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay breaks down what happened last week and what's next to come.
Tijuana Brown is not resigning. She says she'll fight these charges and for her seat, meaning she'll be back here on Tuesday for City Council and Wednesday for a town hall.
A chaotic few weeks for Charlotte City Council and another public blow. Councilwoman Tijuana Brown and her two daughters pleading not guilty Friday morning. They're facing charges of wire fraud and conspiracy that could mean up to 20 years behind bars.
I am the city council member that was elected for the people, by the people.
The U.S. attorney says they illegally obtained more than $124,000 in COVID relief funds by submitting false documentation. One loan meant for business expenses, allegedly spent on Brown's birthday party.
She's presumed innocent, and we've got a defense that you'll hear plenty about as we go.
She has reiterated since the charges were announced Thursday morning she is not resigning and she will run again in November.
It's not an option. This has nothing to do with my seat.
But if she is found guilty, she would no longer be eligible for the seat. The state constitution says you have to be eligible to vote for the office you hold. That could mean council having to appoint another fill-in, something they just did last week. Brown says she will not take a plea deal. There's no knowing how long a trial would take, but Brown's attorney agrees. Fighting back is the only option.
We're just getting warmed up. We pled not guilty and we're ready to go.
That means she's expected in her seat for council's meeting Tuesday and for her town hall on Wednesday night. In Uptown, Julie Kay, WCNC Charlotte.
And tomorrow, the Fraternal Order of Police will begin its former no confidence vote against CMPD Chief Johnny Jennings. Now, members will be able to vote in person and online. Voting will close on June 3rd. The move follows as an alleged closed-door settlement between the city and the chief. It's reportedly tied to a dispute with former council member Tark Bakari over officers who wanted to wear carrier vests. Well, today marks 5 years since George Floyd was murdered by a former Minneapolis police officer. His death sparking protests around the city, the country, and the world, igniting calls for change. Now the Minneapolis community is gathering to remember the impact of that day, the progress that's been made, and what still needs to be done. Rhea Kadene has more.
As the world marks 5 years since George Floyd was murdered, people here in Minneapolis are coming together not only to reflect on what's led up to this point, but to continue fighting for a better future.
And I say to myself, how did we get here? Why are we here? When do we get away from all of this?
100 pairs of shoes, most of them belonging to people who've lost their lives to gun violence or police brutality, line Chicago Avenue at George Floyd Square. As the founder of the Walk a Mile in Our Shoes Foundation, Tracy Washington from Florida says she brought the memorial to Minneapolis to honor the memory of George Floyd and many others, including her own son.
They took my son away, but they didn't take his mother. And I am a strong voice.
Good morning, everybody.
A strong voice joined by many others, also expressing their grief and hopes on this somber day.
Sometimes you just have to put respect on it to kind of wake everybody up, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing.
We have to stay engaged to make change and demand change. I will remain in prayer.
Leaning not only on faith
and protest,
but also on one another to keep fighting for a better future.
Until we get change, we are not free. We're not free until all of us are free.
Now, Floyd's death also sparking action here in the Charlotte area through protests and calls for change within city and state government. This weekend, we caught up with Pastor C.T. Kirk, who leads the Sanctuary of Life Outreach Center in Rock Hill. He led a march in the aftermath of Floyd's death in Rock Hill. He reflected on the work that was done to help improve community and police relationships.
From that march, we were able to launch the Citizens Review Board in Rock Hill that gives us a transparent look at the policing in Rock Hill. And so it sparked the movement. You saw people started working together, people coming across the lines and started working together. And it was really a positive push forward from something that we were trying to do probably 10 years ago in getting a Citizens Review Board.
We also heard from George Floyd's uncle last week inside our Impact News stream on WCNC+. Be sure to download the app for more in-depth coverage just like this. It's a free download on your favorite streaming device. Well, right after the break, it was a fun weekend in South End as families came out for the first Camden Commons event of the season. And did Kyle Larson get the checkered flag in Indy? Ahead, highlights of the Indianapolis 500.
And rain and storms to our south and southwest, thankfully not bringing anything severe to the Carolinas, but we will see better rain chances rolling through tonight. Will they stick around through Memorial Day? Forecast coming right up.
Universal Windows Direct helps you save money on energy bills. This Memorial Day weekend, get 50% off windows with no interest, no payment for 12 months, an additional $500 off, and a free entry door with purchase. Visit uwd.com today.
We're so confident in the capability of our SUVs and the performance of our sedans that we offer a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty on every vehicle in our lineup. A fact that should make you confident in your confidence that you've made the right choice with Kia. Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of select new 2025 Sportage and 2025 Sorrento models.
This Memorial Day at Value City Furniture, you can save up to 25% on incredible furniture throughout the store. More, you say? All right. How about tariff-busting prices on items already in inventory, including a $50 million buyout of Ashley and Broyhill furniture like this, starting at just $299? More? All right. How about nothing down, no interest financing up to 50 months on qualifying purchases? Sound good? All right. We'll see you when you get here. Value City Furniture. We got you.
I thought we had a plan for Dad. Then a friend suggested I talk to a place for Mom. My advisor listened and understood his needs and showed us options that were a better fit for Dad. I know we made a better choice.
Connect with us today.
Sign and save today and get up to $5,000 instant savings on your new home purchase.
So you slide that right through there like that.
Calling all generations. Plan your next memory at gatlinburg.com.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want, at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get a low $299 per month lease, or get 3.9% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue.
Universal Windows Direct keeps you and your home happy. This Memorial Day weekend, get 50% off windows with no interest, no payment for 12 months, an additional $500 off, and a free entry door with purchase. Visit uwd.com today.
Well, tomorrow, the country will remember and honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. If you're looking for a way to honor those service members this Memorial Day, Kannapolis will be holding their annual Memorial Day parade and ceremony on tomorrow. Now, the parade's going to kick off at 11:30 in the morning on Main Street, and it's going to end at Veterans Park. Then, beginning at noon, they're going to host their Memorial Day ceremony. So if you do plan to go, organizers ask that you bring a chair and a small American flag to wave. Well, former President Joe Biden made his first public appearance this weekend following his cancer diagnosis. The former president attended his grandson's graduation on Friday with his wife and daughter. Former First Lady Jill Biden posting this photo to Instagram, congratulating Robert Hunter Biden II. This comes just 1 week after Biden announced he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. His office says the former president had not been diagnosed with cancer prior to last week. Well, this morning's edition of Meet the Press, airing on WCNC Charlotte, focused on youth mental health crisis. Now, 2/3 of Gen Z report feeling loneliness, and half of young adults report symptoms of anxiety and depression. Youth suicide rates are climbing and is now one of the leading causes of death in adolescents and young adults. Now, in 2023, almost 1 in 5 young adults reported having one for social support. A former U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Murthy says loneliness is one of the most urgent crises of our time.
What I worry about for young people in particular is the impact that technology is having on their social connection. We tend to think, oh, kids are on social media, that's great because they're connected to one another. But no, we have to recognize there's a difference between the connections you have online and the connections you have in person.
And that was Vivek Murthy. Now, a bill was recently reintroduced in the U.S. Senate requiring online platforms to take steps to mitigate the negative impacts of social media on young people. Well, chefs from across the city were showing off their best healthy meals. Today, the Charlotte Regional Farmers Market hosted Can You Cook?, challenging aspiring chefs to create meals with only ingredients purchased at the farmers market. Organizers say it's a fun way to educate shoppers about cooking with whole food ingredients and supporting local agriculture. Well, folks, they packed South End for today's Camden Commons event. It's all about getting people to come out to Camden Road and check out local businesses and artisans selling their crafts. Organizers say it's fun for the whole family.
It's really a community block party where we're celebrating local businesses, arts and culture in the district, and a multi-generational event for families and residents and visitors to come and enjoy Camden Road.
And there will be 2 more events later this summer. Well, this weekend's effort to help animals in CMPD Animal Care and Control Shelter was a big success. Shelter officials say yesterday's Step for Pets event raised more than $42,000. Hundreds of people gathered at Pearl Street Park, walking laps in honor of the more than 10,000 animals that entered CMPD Animal Care and Control last year. This is an inaugural Steps for Pets event. Now let's get a check of that forecast. Right now, you're taking a live look at a cloudy Myrtle Beach, a popular destination for the long holiday weekend. Brittany, a big question on the top of mind. Will NASCAR fans here at home see more showers this evening?
Absolutely will, Tradisha. However, I do think the race at this point looks to get all the way through without seeing rain impacts. Of course, if that changes, not only will we let you know right here on WCNC, but we'll send a push alert, of course, to your app if you have it, and of course be live as well on WCNC Plus. We have seen a relatively cloudy, if not mostly cloudy day, kind of dependent on where you were today to see a little bit of that sunshine peeking through, but still not a terrible Sunday by any stretch of the imagination. From App State to Dallas to Anson County there in Louisville, and of course Lake Norman. All of the area a little bit cooler today thanks to the clouds, but at least we saw no rain for the majority of the day. I did see a few reports of some drizzle in areas mainly east of Charlotte earlier, but again, really light rain, if anything at all. Your best rain chances over the next few days come with a few various shortwave troughs, which is essentially a quick area of low pressure that's moving at the upper levels of the atmosphere. Because of this, it's really moist there, but still relatively dry near the ground. And as I mentioned last night when we talked about today's rain, that's one of the reasons why that Sunday rain was really going to struggle. But tonight, we do start to see the mugginess start to increase. So tonight and into Monday morning, and then again 2 additional rounds on Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are the best opportunities to see rain. And the reason why is essentially these short waves are moving along this stalled cold front. So while we are seeing rain and storms still to the south, it's this mess that's kind of shifting just along that line that eventually moves into the Carolinas later on tonight. So we're seeing a mix of those clouds still, but no rain, at least as of yet. Current trajectory of that rain and storm activity would be arriving near the Queen City by about midnight, if not slightly after. So here's the latest timing. I do think this particular model is a little bit aggressive with rain for Memorial Day, but we'll kind of break down day by day, hour by hour, my expectations. So some light rain again by 11 o'clock and midnight. Again, you can see those showers pushing through by the early morning hours Monday. And then pretty much by, I'd say lunchtime, 12, 1 o'clock, we do start to see mostly dry conditions. But even if we stay mostly dry, I would expect the clouds to stick around for the majority of the day. So it's certainly not an afternoon that if you're looking to get some color, you'll get that. Our UV index is going to be very low tomorrow. But again, we're not going to see a lot of rain. Most of that is going to fall in the morning. So if you have fireworks that you're trying to go see, things like that. Uptown Charlotte, of course, has them a lot during those big events. I do think that we're going to stay rain-free. And of course, even if it does rain, no storms, which is a bigger thing. Tuesday, we start off mostly dry, but notice Tuesday is going to be the wettest day of the week. You can see off and on rain for the majority of the day. Another little push there with another short wave early on Wednesday, and then we do stay mostly dry for the rest of the work week. So if you're looking at your Memorial Day forecast, we say our best chance of rain in the morning, and then just more isolated to scattered, I would say after about 12 o'clock. So again, it's not rain free. It's not a completely dry day, but it is not going to be a day where we see widespread rain off and on for the majority of the day. Now, mostly cloudy sky conditions, again, keeping temperatures a little bit on the lower side, with most spots only in the mid to upper 60s. As we look at the extended forecast, you can see most days start to eventually get warmer heading into June. So if you've been a little sick of the cooler temps we've had the last few days, I'm not one of them. But of course they're out there. I'm not going to be as worried about that, of course, heading into the first few days of June. And speaking of, look at your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. June 1st officially on the board. Temperatures rebounding back to the low to mid 80s next weekend under a mostly sunny sky. Still dealing with some rain, of course, tomorrow morning. And then we're cloudy for most of the day with those highs in the upper 60s to near 70.
Well, Jimmy Johnson hitting a milestone at tonight's Coca-Cola 600. Nick has more and the report from the track ahead of the next race.
Ahead for us, the American citizen under arrest charged with plotting to firebomb a U.S. Embassy branch office in Israel, and our rare inside look at the special Marine unit that trains to honor fallen soldiers. Those stories and more ahead tonight on Nightly News.
just unbelievable, just seeing the flames shoot up in the sky.
CMPD is investigating 2 shootings in the last 24 hours.
She's afraid of what'll happen the next time.
Stream extended coverage on WCNC+.
Experience the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
All right, Haverties. This 3-day weekend is finishing in a flash, and Mama needs a win. Top green leather, and it's on sale.
Find love at first sit at Haverty's Memorial Day sale.
Treasured park moments with the Fun-Sultant.
It's serious work to keep the park this fun. Make it twisty-turnier, right? Yes! Merry-go-roundier. Circles! Hey, River, you call that lazy? All this beloved park fun takes hard work and dedication. Good work. Thank you. But when I see their smiles, I'm overjoyed with joy. This is my resting joy face.
We're serious about fun.
Hendrick. Warm weather out there means it's time to get in here. Shop the Hendrick SUV Season Sales Event for the perfect SUV for summer fun. Drive with 0 down or payment deferral options up to 90 days. Visit HendrickCars.com and choose from over 15,000 SUVs. New and certified pre-owned, gas, hybrid, and electric. Before you get out there, get in here for your next SUV. Visit HendrickCars.com.
Welcome to Bluebell, USA, a magical town where ice cream is as beloved as curls and cannonballs. Because ice cream is the handheld device of choice. Can Bluebell ice cream really make people happy? We think it can. Bluebell, USA, where happy happens.
Experience the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
The mattress mission continues.
Save the best for last.
And it's on sale.
Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Haverty's, we furnish happiness.
The WCNC Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. WCNC Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The WCNC Charlotte 7-day forecast, sponsored by Guy Roofing.
Well, we saw history at this year's Indianapolis 500. Alex Palau is the first driver from Spain to win the storied race, passing Marcus Ericsson with less than 20 laps to go to secure the win. He's a 3-time IndyCar champ and has won 5 of his first 6 races this season. Now let's get to the action on the track here in Charlotte. The Coca-Cola 600 starting just moments ago. WCNC Charlotte Sports Director Nick Carboni has more on the key drivers to watch tonight.
At Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Coca-Cola 600 is sold out for the 4th consecutive year. Race fans hoping that their favorite driver is the one here in Victory Lane at the end of the night. The Coca-Cola 600's biggest challenge is in its name. 600 miles, the longest race on the NASCAR circuit, and it rewards longevity. Speaking of longevity, 7-time Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson back in a Cup car to make his 700th career start. Conversely, 18-year-old Connor Zilisch is in the car to make his 2nd career Cup start. I spoke up with the Charlotte native at the Earnhardt Premier red carpet. He's excited to do this in his hometown.
Yeah, so I always remember it being in town. I've been to the Roval a few times. I've never actually been to the Coke 600, but I've gone in the past few years as I've gotten into the sport, and the race is always incredible. The helicopters before the race, and the race being on Memorial Day weekend is special. So I'm really excited to participate in it for the first time and see a bunch of friends and family.
A few things about the Coke 600 remain the same. It is still a crown jewel race, a checkered flag. Every one of these 40 drivers in the field wants so badly tonight. It is still on Memorial Day weekend. but how you watch it has changed in a big way. It is on a streaming service, Prime Video. I spoke to former champion Carl Edwards, who's on the call tonight, and he said this about what to expect.
I think you're going to see so many interesting things happen. I think that it's likely to have even a surprise winner. You know, we got good weather, so going to have the whole event just tough all around, and anything could happen.
A bit of the drama taken out of the Kyle Larson entry into this race. He spun out early at the Indianapolis 500. He expects to run all 600 miles of the Coke 600. He will start position 2 after Saturday qualifying, but position 1 belongs to pole winner Christopher Buescher. At Charlotte Motor Speedway, I'm Nick Carboni for WCNC Charlotte.
Exciting stuff.
Yes, and we are not going to see any rain for at least the start. Of course, it already started for the Coke 600 to kick off, but we are going to be watching an opportunity for some rain and even an isolated thunderstorm later on tonight. But it does look like it would be once everything has wrapped up. Again, I'm still cautiously optimistic. Right now, if this little short wave that you can see there in eastern Tennessee stays on its current trajectory, we're looking at a arrival time in the Charlotte area between, Charlotte Motor Speedway, between about 11 and 11:30, and Charlotte Uptown closer to midnight. So got plenty of time to get that over with. Of course, it's really hard this time of year to have a day with no rain, just on the longevity of the Coke 600 is one of the longest races in NASCAR. And of course, the fact that it's May in the Carolinas and we see rain and storms a lot. But as of right now, we're good to go. Of course, download the WCNC Charlotte mobile app, because if there are any changes, we'll certainly let you know. And then, of course, back here at 11, we'll have more on your forecasts heading into Memorial Day.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you back here at 11. NBC.